It's time once again to craft teams from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Last week we explored the question, what if Pokemon existed in the world of Avatar? We explored how the events of the show would roughly unfold in a world inhabited by both benders and Pokemon, through the eyes of the main characters of the show and the teams that they'd believably build over the course of their journeys. If you haven't seen that video, please go check it out. But today we're going to keep that going with the teams for everyone not discussed in that video, beginning with the most important warriors of the Fire Nation, then to the various characters of the Earth Nation. Without further ado, let's get into it. We're going in rough chronological order here, meaning these are the teams that Team Avatar might encounter as the events of their journey unfolded similarly to the show. First up, let's take a look at the Fire Nation as a whole, full of tons of intimidating, fierce, and ruthless warriors, including their average soldier. Fire Nation soldiers are encountered early and often, and they're pretty dangerous. The most powerful military in the world pairs their bender and non-bender soldiers with these select Pokemon for field missions and active combat. Soldiers can traverse across the land at great speed with help from Rapidash and Zebstrika, channeling their fire and lightning powers to attack foes while they charge forward, just like Manectric and Arcanine, two nearly unstoppable field assets once they begin their chases. Aggron is an equally offensive Pokemon that can be used like war rhinos or actual tanks, as they chew and tear through rocks and buildings when enraged. Bisharp and Talonflame are must-haves for any Fire Nation general, as Bisharp is an expert tactician and deadly sharp on the front lines itself, and Talonflame acts in place of the Messenger Hawks to relay great distances. Finally, the underrated Heatmore is a powerful asset that aided firsthand in the destruction of the Air Nomads, leading to the discovery of the Temple's native Drifblims, which the Fire Nation eventually trained to inspire their prototypes of their fearsome war balloons. The Fire Nation's commander Zhao is often seen leading the charge for these soldiers, building a small team of his own that reflects his prideful arrogance and untamed firebending style. His first partner from his youth is an Incineroar, a prideful and violent Pokemon who's seen many battles, and one of the only Pokemon to tolerate Zhao's abusive training style and remain loyal to him. Next, a Phalanx, a useful ally as he devises his various war strategies, who can help out his crewmates on a Fire Nation ship in a pinch. Lastly, Magmortar, a Pokemon Zhao added after forsaking the training of Jeong Jeong after he sought out true power, one of the strongest and most destructive fire types known to the Fire Nation. Overall, a pretty unstoppable bunch, that is, until Aang and company meet some trusted friends. King Bumi is one such ally, the offbeat yet powerful king of Omashu. He'd use a variety of rock and ground types that all complement his incredible rock and earth-bending abilities. The mineralic Rampardos and Gigalith would be naturally found in the rich caverns of Omashu, and thus great fits as partners. Meanwhile, both Diggersby and Rhyperior can help dig formidable tunnels, and throw and blast mud and rocks. Two somewhat unappealing but still very resourceful and loyal Pokemon for this king. Team Avatar finds another ally at first in Jet, the freedom fighter in the western woods of the Earth Kingdom. Jet would employ a simple squad of Pokemon that complement his skills as a rogue swordsman, such as the aggressive Galarian Farfetch'd, the easygoing yet stealthy Sceptile, who could scout in trees and climb them with ease, and Pangoro, a ruthless fighter, who, just like Jet, brawls with a potent drive for vengeance. All these Pokemon could easily be found in the wood that Jet calls home, and it would suit him well in his never-ending plight against the Fire Nation. Now, Team Avatar also encounters some key allies who don't immediately seem to have all that much in common, but they're united by fraternity within the Order of the White Lotus, a mysterious clan of the world's most skilled, cultured, and powerful masters. Naturally, they all employ Pokemon that suit their areas of expertise. First up is the defected firebending warlord and master Jeong Jeong. He's since renounced his military status and seeks to live a quiet life, teaching an extremely traditional form of firebending that relies on patience, deliberate action, defense, and inner strength. He would train his students primarily with help from two starters, known for their brutal fighting style and ability to train young firebenders to develop strong punches and kicks to accompany safe but strong firebending. Then a Flareon as partner, as we've established that in this world, evolutions are commonly trained by benders. Finally, a Macargo, only a Pokemon that a truly wise firebender would want to keep, as most would disregard this Pokemon's slow and mellow attitude, overlooking its extremely hot temperatures and capability to fight as an ally. Moving up to the North Pole, Master Paku stands as another master of the elements. He holds many of the same philosophies as Jeong Jeong, such as traditionalism, patience, being a harsh yet honest teacher, and emphasizing the mastery of the basics before moving on to advanced forms of bending. He would employ a pair of evolutions in Vaporeon and Glaceon, the two traditional partners for waterbenders, taking offense at Katara's evolution of hers into Umbreon as we saw in the last video. He'd also used 2 Pokemon that are masters of the arts of ice and water, a Glalie to show the traditional value of only powerful men being trained as waterbenders in the north, and a Kingdra, a fierce ally and protector of the North Pole. Just like Paku, this ace partner of his could create water vortexes and cast deadly beams of ice at its opponents. To round out the Order of the White Lotus, let's take a look at Master Piandao. All these Pokemon could be found in the gardens and the villages around Piandao's estate, with Kleavor and Sirfetch'd being 2 woodland Pokemon that Piandao first trained and kept as companions, Gallade being a highly intelligent and chivalric sparring buddy that could also help with Piandao's other interests of calligraphy, gardening, and philosophy, and the Regal Aegislash being a must-have companion as the ultimate sword-fighting co-instructor who eventually showed approval for Sokka as a student. Now, all these companions came in handy for Team Avatar as they discovered more than one foe in their journey, starting with the ruthless Princess Azula. First off, her main partner, just like the rest of her family, would be the revered Charizard, used by all members as a royal symbol. Only hers is a shiny, given to her by her father as the favorite child. Plus, it's imbued with a Megastone X, since she's been given a powerful form for her Charizard as a firebending prodigy. Plus, those blue flames just match her own bending style so well. Azula would also catch a Luxray and a Salazzle early on in her time as princess, 2 fearsome apex predators of the Fire Nation's natural landscapes that could assist her in the arts of fire and lightning bending, alongside her relentless hunt for any enemy. Sableye was a pickup in the caverns of Ba Sing Se during her time occupying the city in Book 2, as she enjoys this Pokemon's fierce skills alongside its abilities to seek out any treasure or gem for her. Golbat has also been a Pokemon that she's had for a very long time, a Pokemon that she values a lot, yet she can never get to reach its full potential and evolve into a Crobat, a testament to her abuse and heartlessness as a trainer and bender. Azula also has human allies of her own, beginning with May. We know that May is a cold and collected assassin versed in blade fighting, so she's got a team of agile and sharp Pokemon that can assist in any mission. First up is the sharpest one, and her main partner, Bisharp. This was given to her by her uncle, the warden of the Boiling Rock prison, as she was born into a prominent Fire Nation military family. Her Toxicroak and Sneasler are 2 companions known for their sharp claws and potent toxins, essentially living poison daggers, the perfect supports in combat. Then a Mawile was picked up with Azula's Sableye in the caverns underneath Ba Sing Se, as it's also a ferocious fighter known for its reserved attitude at times. Dai Li is the final member of this trio, a much bubblier and younger fighter who still has some tricks up her sleeve, notably her intense acrobatics and chi blocking ability. First up are Lopunny and Ambipom, 2 ideal partners for their friendliness but also great speed and agility, being able to overwhelm foes with strong kicks and slaps. Next is Mienshao, a greatly acrobatic Pokemon known for its combination whip fighting along with Wigglytuff, a Pokemon that can float in the air with ease to assist its teammates in their acrobatic combat, who is also extremely cute and knows the move Disable, a deadly combination when used in conjunction with chi blocking. Now, Team Avatar is not alone in their fight against these foes, as many times throughout their journey we encounter Earth Kingdom soldiers who are on the front lines against the Fire Nation. Dodrio, Rhydon, Donphan, and Mudsdale could act as great transport, while offering mud kicking and sometimes even earthbending ability of their own. Chestnut, Machoke, and Marshtomp would be great fighters on the front lines, or even helping out as guards, enforcers, or police Pokemon in various settlements. Finally, Crustle, Rhydon, and Graveler would be the main assistants to bending soldiers, helping conjure barrages of boulders, stones, rocks, mud, and sand, while building fortifications and digging trenches in pretty much any combat scenario. The next level of enforcement comes from the Dai Li Agents, who are even more specialized than earthbending soldiers, tasked with protecting the cultural stability of Ba Sing Se, which, as we know, results in a very shady, corrupt, and violent organization that serves the interests of Long Feng. To no surprise, this crew uses a mix of dark and ground-type Pokemon, primarily Gliscor and Weavile, 2 quick Pokemon that can pursue any subversive enemies throughout the city streets, palaces, or caverns, and stun them with quick moves and sharp claws or pincers. The more bulky Tyranitar and Crocodile are 2 powerful earthbending companions for only the most skilled of agents, whipping up sandstorms, slamming down huge slabs of rock, or just attacking physically with brute force. No matter what they use, the Dai Li are not to be messed with. Long Feng is their leader, and due to his role as pulling the strings type of manipulation, he wouldn't have that many Pokemon to himself. All he chooses to use is his malevolent Malamar for hypnosis of enemies and eventual brainwashing, like what he did to Jet. And for situations where he's forced into active combat, he uses a rare Bastiodon as a backup. This Pokemon is also shaped like a wall, So I believe beyond its raw powers to throw and break rocks, it would be considered an honorific Pokemon of sorts to the elite of the inner walled city of Ba Sing Se. Before wrapping this up, we also have to take a look at the third existing bending nation, Water. There aren't too many prominent characters here deserving of a full team, but Hakoda certainly is. The father of Sokka and Katara, he's a prominent leader for the Southern Water Tribe, leading his men into battle with the trusty Empoleon, his primary partner who could break ice, shoot water, and even tear through the steel hull of a Fire Nation ship, and a dusk-form Lycanroc. The Pokemon that we established is an honorific Pokemon, taken on as the ideal partner for many Water Tribe men of age, including Sokka. Overall, a reliable but pretty small team for a man who seems to prefer strategy to active combat as he grows older. In contrast, this large roster accounts for the combined forces of both the Northern and Southern Water Tribes, though there are some distinctions. The Southern Tribe, heavily affected by constant raids over the course of the 100-Year War, grew thin in numbers, especially among waterbenders. This led to become resourceful and had to befriend many of the Pokemon found in their polar habitat as defense against the Fire Nation, especially ones that they could control and trust as non-benders, so not too many water or ice types for them. Dhelmise is a great partner, as they were originally components of Fire Nation vessels that got blown apart and sank to the bottom of the sea, before being salvaged by these resourceful Water Tribe men, and transformed into great navigational allies. Alolan Sandslash would also be great for its spikes, as it could make any terrain a nuisance or a danger to cross, thus stopping Fire Nation soldiers in their tracks. Galarian Berserker were once regular Cantonian or Alolan Meowth, Pokemon kept by the Fire Nation on many of their vessels as pest control or company, before some of these became an invasive species in the Water Tribe following the southern raids. Through that, many of them evolved a ferocious mane and fighting attitude to fit in with their new Arctic allies, turning into Galarian Berserker, a great ally for any hand-to-hand combat situation, alongside Grapploct and Lycanroc, perhaps the two most common allies for a Southern Water Tribe soldier. Finally, Hisuian Quillfish could be used like bombs to sink ships, using their quills or even poison to seep through the cracks in Fire Nation vessels and destroy them from the inside out. And the rest of these Pokemon are used mainly by Northern Water Tribe counterparts as complementary bending allies, like Floatzel and Basculegion's ability to dart through the water like lightning, Cloyster and Walreign's ability to break through ice and withstand the polar vortexes, or Octillery, the ultimate reinforcement for its ability to retain and shoot at blasts of water like a tank. And finally, we reach the end. All the forces we've encountered today have in large parts devoted their lives to fighting for or against one man, Fire Lord Ozai. Considered the most powerful raw bender in the world, Ozai's grand delusional ambitions and extreme pursuit of power make him an extremely powerful bender and trainer. Here's his team. First and foremost, his shiny Gigantamax Charizard. Just like the rest of his family, this Pokemon was his first partner and one of his strongest, the only one capable of Gigantamaxing during the events of Sozin's Comet due to the Comet's unique abilities, which you'll hear more about in the next video. This Pokemon could incinerate entire villages at a time, and its intensity matches Ozai's relentless and merciless fighting style. Next, his Pyroar and Centiskorch, two trained from his youth, due to their association with the regal royal Fire Nation family. Both these Pokemon are equally violent in their abilities to hunt, burn, or destroy any foe they wish, but Ozai's pursuits don't stop with this trio. He enlists the help of Galarian Moltres as he ascends to the title of Phoenix King, drawing upon the strength of this ancient legendary Pokemon that the historic title is named after. Few have even tried to seek out the help of this violent, corrupt bird Pokemon, save for those with the most destructive of ambitions. As you'll see in the next video, legendary Pokemon hold perhaps even more significance in this Avatar world than they do in the regular Pokemon one, with a common understanding that no one, not even the Avatar himself, should try to tame the wild forces of a legendary, as it wouldn't just end with the inevitable destruction of the one wielding it, but also a catastrophic upset to the balance of the world as a whole. But we know Ozai is just the man to try to break that understanding, as he wields both Raikou and Entei, the twin forces of lightning and eruption, revered by the Fire Nation as reincarnated versions of the two ancient legendary Pokemon that the Fire Nation initially gained their powers from. In his hubris, Ozai would attempt to wield all 6 of these Pokemon, in an unprecedented human capture of a Gigantamax and 3 legendaries, in a climactic showdown with Aang. Of course, we know his efforts ultimately fail, thanks to Aang and all the other benders, warriors, and Pokemon trainers that we've explored over the last 2 videos now. Of course, there's still far more to explore about this intriguing hybrid world, beginning with the very myths and legends that I alluded to. I'm happy to say that I've begun fleshing out this entire world, and I can't wait to return to this concept in a few weeks, as we tackle the myths, legends, sacred beasts, habitat, and ecology of the Avatar world in the conclusion to the Encyclopedia Avatar miniseries, where we'll wrap this all up and get to the bottom of exactly how the world of Avatar would have been shaped from the very beginning by the existence of Pokemon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for more content.